Hello, and welcome to the second part of episode 5 of Security by Behemoth. This part of episode 5 is covering home Wi-Fi, e-commerce, credit card protection, deconstructing the credit card number, and useful advice for those conducting e-commerce any time of the year, but most specifically during Cyber Monday. So, the first part, covering e-commerce. Where should you conduct e-commerce? My best recommendation is at home. If you are at Starbucks, Panera Bread, McDonald's, any other place that offers free Wi-Fi, that means that that polite gentleman over in the corner that seems to be typing away could be a hacker. He might not be, he probably is not, but he could be. It's very easy to get a computer to the point of being in what is called promiscuous mode, which allows all traffic to be read, especially if it is on the span port, which is out of the scope of this, but it's very easy. Anyone can download the software off the internet for free at any time. So with that, I recommend doing it at home. If you have to use wireless, use your own wireless or the wireless of someone you trust that has control on who connects and how many machines can be connected at once. For example, I have a maximum of 6 that allows 2 of my home computers, my PlayStation, my Wii, and then cell phones to be connected to the network. That's it. If I have a friend over that needs to connect his cell phone, I have to add his MAC address to the network and then turn something that's on the network off. So anything to be safe. I'm not saying that hackers cannot penetrate your Wi-Fi. I'm just saying make it harder. Make them earn what it is that they are trying to steal. They will probably pass up the one that has a password on it and is using encryption to go to the unsecured networks with no password. Which that leads me into the next topic, which is unsecured Wi-Fi versus WEP and WPA2. Unsecured networks allow anyone to connect for the most part. Controls can be put in place such as MAC filtering, reducing the IP pool and whatnot, but there are ways around that as well. I'm not going to get into the fine details of it, but it is possible. WEP, wired equivalent privacy, used to be the best level of security you could have on Wi-Fi. It is easily crackable. You cannot have a password greater than 26 digits, and it comes across in clear text. Anyone running a sniffer on their computer, which again are free, they can find it. WPA and WPA2, that is the Wi-Fi Protected Access Protocol. WPA is stronger than WEP, but it is not as strong as WPA2. WPA2 uses government-level encryption in several flavors, but all of which stems from what is called the Advanced Encryption Standard, which by definition takes longer than the life of the Earth to crack. So far, it has only been cracked down from 256 digits to a complexity of 192, which means the data is still very, very safe. Moving on. Anytime you're conducting commerce online, make sure in the address bar of where you are shopping, it says HTTPS, meaning secure. That means it is encrypted. That means that someone casually sniffing around on any network cannot see that. Any sniffer is blind to encrypted traffic. It will show that encrypted traffic is being passed, but it will not show what it is. They would have to go into thorough detail as to what your session ID is, which is above the level that most hackers are willing to go in depth for in order to reach their goal. Moving on to Loon's credit cards equation. This is an equation used to validate any card number with any issuer. With that, I will start with the fact that all issuers have a unique first digit or digits to their credit card. For example, Visa starts with 4. MasterCard starts with 51, 52, 53, 54, and 55. American Express starts with 34, 35, 36, and 37. Discover starts with 6011, 622126 through 622925, 644 through 649, and 65. This is important because if someone gets the last 4 digits of your card number and they can find out who the issuer is, that reduces the complexity to which they have to try to decipher your card number. To my knowledge, there is no way to decipher the 3-digit code on the back, but to put it into perspective, there are only 1,000 possibilities of card verification codes, the CVV and CVC code on the back. Throwing in expiration date, some places will take your credit card without an expiration date, but since credit cards are only issued for 3 to 4 years, you only have a maximum of 48 possibilities. So moving forward with this, Loon's credit card equation. I'm going to try to put this up. I'm not sure if it will work. I'm going to try to put up a graphic that I made for Loon's algorithm that shows how it works. The 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th, 13th, and 15th digits are the key players in this. What happens in the algorithm is that they are multiplied by 2. If the number is greater than 10, the output number, that is greater than 10, the numbers are added together. So if your initial number is 5, you multiply it by 2, it becomes 10. 10 is not a valid number to input into this, so 5 becomes 1 because 1 plus 0 equals 1. If the initial number going in was 6, which makes 12, which again is greater than 10, that makes the number 3, and so forth and so on. To validate the card number, this is performed on all the odd placed digits. All the numbers are added up and put into a modulus equation. It sounds very complicated, but it's not. If you add all the numbers on a valid credit card up using this algorithm, it will be divisible by 10 with no remainder. That's all it means. So that allows the would-be cyber criminal a very distinct advantage in determining if you are using a valid card number. In any situation, if you've ever provided a credit card number over the phone or whatnot, and they said that is not a valid card number, that is how they know. So moving on from there, you have what is called war driving. That is where people drive around looking for Wi-Fi, and if they can crack it, they will put a symbol on the street or sidewalk or something, maybe even just a small flag to show, hey, there's an open Wi-Fi network here, or hey, there's a Wi-Fi network here. And then if they actually write something down, they will put down the username and password to get in. So that's definitely a dangerous thing. Additionally, going back to Wi-Fi networks, you should keep in mind with your router, depending on who the manufacturer is, you will more than likely have a default network name, such as Cisco or Linksys. It's always Linksys. The default IP address of the router is typically 192.168.1.1, and the default password is usually admin. Belkin, their network names are typically Belkin, with IP address of 192.168.2.1. The default password will either be admin or none. The list goes on. I have information from a very simple, fast Google search that lists the information for Cisco, Belkin, Netgear, Motorola, Apple, the whole 9 yards. And more than likely they have the same default IP address and the same default password. If you don't change that, that now allows the criminal to set up whatever port they are using as the span port, which allows them to sniff everything. They can see anything. With this, I'm going to get into passwords. Your password, following Department of Defense guidance, your password should always be greater than 8 digits. It should consist of a minimum of 3 of the 4 categories, with the categories being at least one uppercase letter, at least one lowercase letter, at least one number 0 through 9, or at least one symbol such as the ampersand, exclamation point, comma, period. And a lot of times passwords actually accept spaces. So make your password not a password, but rather a passphrase, something along the lines of "Run, run, Rudolph," or "I love to shop." Substitute some of your letters for symbols, such as the A being the @ symbol, or S being 5, something along those lines. The list is almost unlimited. Make it difficult. So I'm going to leave you with some advice. The advice would be, when using your home Wi-Fi, don't broadcast your network name. That's going to slow people down. It's going to keep the casual hackers out, but someone who really wants to get in, they still can. Make sure you use WPA2. It may not be the best, but it is the best yet that is commercially available. Make sure that you only allow trusted people to connect to your network and only connect to trusted networks or your own. Use wired connections such as Ethernet whenever you get a chance for your home shopping. Guard your credit card number, and just be very vigilant and cautious. If you have any questions related to suspicious activity, you can email me at B3h3m0th.security@gmail.com or on Facebook under B3h3m0th security. I can answer any of your questions, and if I am unavailable or you would prefer, contact your local law enforcement. They should be able to answer some questions on the topic. So with that being said, stay secure, have a happy holiday season, and I will see you soon.